Miles, who I know to some extent. He was always very involved with, he put on a few sort of play readings. We've got the Derbyshire dialect comedies from the Great Hopewell Playhouse, and he put on a few readings of those, and sort of these niche local things were just what he needed to see. I'll dedicate it to him. I'll step away from the mic as well. I'll give it to you like this, like it's meant to be. This is a song called Derbyshire Politicians. It's a nice celebration of our rural culture, I think. You made boast of your Johnsons, your wise men of college, your Pitts and your Fosters and great Bonaparte. Great Hucklow can boast of men of more knowledge. What's more, they've the good of their country hearts. That Milton and Shakespeare could lie so long dormant proves also the taste of the nation is bad. Joel Emmett and Baton, Kester, Revel and Newton and Ralph Frost had more wisdom than Socrates had. When Paul, Rag and Barbara christened their only son, Titus and Aaron Paul's brothers were there. Luke Webster and Phoebe and old Jasper Tomlinson said that young Seth was a promising heir. There was old Johnny Micklethwaite, births could well calculate, well could he read Sowerby, Herschel and more. But Seneca he preferred, told them where Bacon heard, uttered what mortals never heard of before. There was old Zachary Longston, a native of Middleton, Paul's brother by the mother's side, he studied the law. He talked of Judge Blackstone and Coke upon Littleton, and what Mark Reynolds studied they soon got to know. From subjects like these depart, give me the healing art that in St. Mark's fist flew in Zachary's face. Then betwixt Joe and Micklethwaite there was a warm debate, and Mark's present conduct was marked with disgrace. Still Mark kept extolling the ancient physicians, enraptured by Culpeper, Cheney and Friend. Gilbert and Wharton being both politicians, they started as soon as Mark's speech had an end. Pitt, Burke and Talleyrand, Kester had at command debate on that subject there none did presume. Gilbert they all knew was well versed in history, some say he'd swallow both Goldsmith and Hume. Gilbert spoke highly of Alfred the Great and Good, Jarvis desired their politics cease. Luke Webster asked Gilbert if he knew where Tilsit stood, where Russia and Prussia and France signed the peace. Says Gilbert, I'm like to know, I read banks off and through, and swore it once stood a slip-sided Peru. Old Nathan, just 61, put Phoebe's glasses on, thought surely what Gilbert said could not be true. Paul's map was produced, Nathan traced it to China, he said he'd take time and not travel so fast. He thought it was somewhere by South Carolina, with Kester's assistance he found it at last. He cried aloud, here it stands, by the French Netherlands, near the West Indies in the province of Spain. Mark's reason forsook him and passion o'ertook him, he soon set the house in an uproar again. Now Beck Emmett, Joel's sister, who still all this time had sat, hit on a scheme never thought on before. She saw her brother and what he was aiming at, and slipped unperceived behind the buttery door. And when Revel's arm was raised, swearing like one was crazed, Beck let the rolling pin fly at his head. Blow she repeated while Jasper entreated, all crying out, stop! They thought Revel was dead.